Well, street games were very common in Romania when I was a kid. In towns, lots of concrete, not much grass, so we just in quite small areas to play in. So we just had to make the most of those small areas. As then we'd come up with different variants of games, and this is one of them. Yeah, when I do this kind of playfulness of childhood, it's condensed in this, and you take that with you, which is kind of nice, because there's certain things you leave behind, but then there are things you can take with you. This is one of them.
At my school we play with different rules, but it's kind of the same. It's kind of cool how people from one side of the world play the same game as people from the other side of the world.
Growing up in Romania was fun, to a large extent. So we were just kids playing. That was probably our main activity. Because we had like 2 hours of television a day, right? That was all. And we really, really looked forward for that, to that movie on Saturday night, Dallas or whatever it was, like the whole country was watching it. And, so that was a big thing, but not much else happening. So we had all this time on our hands. Obviously, we were going to school 6 days a week at the time. However, that didn't stop us from having lots of fun. Most of us lived in blocks of flats. Our parents came from the countryside into the townships where there was, they built this industry. That's what communism was built on. So they all got given apartments in blocks of flats, 60 families, and we were probably sharing 300 square meters of play space between all the kids that all these families had, playing different games. That was our life. So my idea was pass the ball to each other, but the trick was that if the ball came off you onto the ground, you were out. It was just a thing you do on an afternoon. So when I went back, this is about 15 years after the game started, I went back to my parents' place. I walked to the entrance, and then there were some kids there, and they were playing the game that I started 15 years ago. Now, I didn't know these kids, and these kids didn't know me, but they were playing that game, and I really felt quite good, I was like, wow, that's cool. "25 years later, the game that I invented in Romania is now Hungerball.
No hands and no fouls. So we're at Orewa Surf and Sound event, and we're playing Hungerball. All right, go.
$2 for free goes.
Sit in there.
All right, so Hungerball is a game where you have 6 mini goals in a fully enclosed arena. Each player with their own goal, and you go against each other. So it has that element of the game, from my childhood.
Keep going, it wasn't then. Oh, okay. So Toma is my son, and he came up with the game one day. I had this idea of hunger, soccer, hunger. So it's that kind of being hungry, but also the Hunger Games idea. And it just didn't sound right. And he came up with the idea, why don't you call it Hungerball?
One thing that's really important for us is to take the game to lots of places where there's exposure for it, so that lots of kids or even adults get a chance to play it and see it. We're always trying to be here at Orewa at all the activities that are done in our home area. So it's always good because this is a way of us being connected to the local community, and also it's the place where we started.
You can come out, guys. I like it. I hope this will make it into a professional sport. You can't play soccer you can only play as a team, right? You always have this confounding variable as the team. Who's better, Ronaldo or Messi, right? You never know because they play for a team and it was the team or it was them. Whereas with this, equal opportunities, one winner. If you're better, then you're better. It's down to you. So I think it has a chance. I think for the people, the most important thing is that they see the benefit for their kids. Like, you get them off their iPads, that kind of stuff, like you get them, it's exciting, there's a buzz about it. So for me, it's important to do stuff that's linked back to what you really, really like, what the basic stuff. Like I have my career and I have I have other things, I'm doing other things. But this is different. It has that magic of childhood